Welcome back to another edition of Fly Tying for Beginners. Today we're going to tie an Old English pattern. This is a dry fly. This is the Greenwells Glory. And the hook I have in the vise is a standard dry fly hook. This is a size 16. You want to tie these in 14 and 16. The thread I'm going to use is 6/0. This is pre-waxed olive, yellowish olive thread. We're going to start our thread behind the eye, and we're going to come back halfway and return half of that, and that will be our wing placement. For the wing, we're going to use gray duck quills. I already have them cut off, but take the quill, touch the shank, and poke the point through, and that will be the size of your wing. I'm going to place them back to back in order to get that natural curve. I'm going to show you a little different way to tie them on. When they're standing up, you want this sloped part to be in the back, just like a natural mayfly wing. I'm going to take a hold of the tips. First I need to size it up, and we want that wing to be about the length of the hook shank. I'm going to take that, I'm going to hold the tips, and we're going to tie that in with the tips towards the rear. Pull that down and you'll see that the front flare up. You can take that. Now we're going to lift the wings and just put a wrap or two in there to get them to stand up a little better. Now they're right on top. Now I'm going to take the tag ends, we're going to fold each back, and we can lift that wing up further now. We're going to wrap that in, we're going to tie that in, and it stands it right up. We're going to go back on it. I'm about halfway down to the tail. Now I'm going to trim these at an angle, stand them up a bit, and snip that angle on there. We're going to continue wrapping that in, and that's going to help give us the tapered body that we want. We're going to stop it at the point, the barb of the hook. Now for the tail, I have a furnace hackle. I'm going to use the furnace hackle for the tail. Just take them, align the tips, and the whole section right off. We want that tail to be about a little longer than the body being from the thread to the wing. So close to the length of the shank. I'm going to trim that off there a little bit. And we'll tie that in. Go ahead and put a wrap underneath the tail. Now for the rib, I'm going to use a fine gold wire. And we're going to secure that. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to spin my thread counterclockwise to get it to lay flat. And we're going to wrap this. And we're making the body at this point. I'm going to go ahead and wrap that to the rear. And then come forward with it. Now I'm going to take the gold rib, And I'm going to counter wrap it. One, two, three, and we'll pull number 4 up right next to the wing. I'm going to tie that off in front of the wing because I don't want to mess the wing up there. And I'm going to trim off the excess. I'm going to use my nippers. Push that tag down and I'm going to secure that tag. Now I'm going to take a furnace hackle. I'm going to place that right down in between the wing. And I'm going to leave a little bit of the trim spot off the back. We're going to take that and we want to pull that directly down. That's going to divide the wing. Put a couple of tight wraps right there. And then we can move the thread forward and secure the front of that. Got to be careful, you don't want to push those wings too far apart. Now we're going to wrap that hackle. And when we get to the wing, we want to tie that right up against that wing. I'm not pulling the wings back because I don't want to split them on myself. Just take your time and get that hackle nice and tight to the wing. Put in a couple more wraps. And we're going to tie this off. Put a couple of wraps over it and a couple of wraps in front. And now I'm tying the head at this point. Take our poke and snip and remove the excess. Take the whip finish. Get that 3-turn whip finish, tighten that up. Poke and snip that thread off. I have one hackle that's going forward. I'm going to snip that. We'll take some head cement, clean the brush out really well. And put a little bit of head cement on the head. And I can see that I need to run a feather through there, so I'm just going to take a feather off my desk. Put that through the eye. There, it's nice and clean open. And here we have Greenwells Glory. Hope that you learned something from this video. Hope that you would subscribe to my channel. Please refer me to your friends. Leave comments, questions, suggestions, and most of all, I thank you very much for watching my videos.